Hi guys, it's the 30th of September today. It's a Saturday afternoon. No fishing today. I haven't actually been since you saw me catch my new Warwickshire Avon PB. That was last Monday. Haven't been out this week at all through one thing and another, work, picking my wife up from the airport, etc, etc. Very busy week, but we managed to get the video done and posted on YouTube. Lots of views already, lots of very nice comments. Thank you to everybody. What I'm actually doing today, I think I'm going to get down the river tomorrow evening. That's the plan at the moment anyway. Things change being a family man, but the plan is to go tomorrow evening. So what I was just doing was just tying some rigs up, and I thought, I know, I'll just make a short video about it, just showing you exactly what I do. As I mentioned in that last video, I found a new hook link material which I'm really happy with. Now I've sort of used fluorocarbon for a few years now, but as I've said in previous videos as well, you know, everyone rates braid a lot more than fluorocarbon for barbel fishing with the longer hook links. Now, I like fluorocarbon because it never tangles. I use it short hook links on my helicopter rigs and it just never tangles. It's brilliant, really stiff. Now obviously I'm going to be mentioning a few brand names here, but it's just what works for me. I'm not sponsored, so I'm sure there's as good as, if not better, alternatives out there to the stuff I use. What I use is IQ2 on my fluorocarbon hook links. Works really well. For my longer hook links, I was using the Fox Illusion. It's slightly softer. I just thought it better presentation in a flowing current with longer hook link. However, as I said, I was trying to move over to braid. Now, if you saw my last rig video, I said on there I started to use dark matter uncoated braid, which I was getting on fine with. I was getting a few tangles with that tweak with the longer loop at the top, and that helped really as far as tangles were going. However, there's one problem I have with my hook links. And if you watched pretty much any of my videos, you'll see I always pack up in the dark. It's always dark, it's always a fiddle. Now my hook links, I keep on the winders and I keep in the boxes, as I showed you in my previous rig video. And what I don't want to do on the bank is start putting used rigs back in to my winders. My winders are just my new rigs. If I take a rig off there, I know it's new, or in my shorter box, they're all new in there. Don't put used rigs in there at all. So what do I do with my used rigs? What I found the best solution is, oh god, here. What I do is just coil them up and drop them into, this is my wife's like face cream pot, and I've got 3 or 4 of these. And what I do is I just coil the rigs up, drop them in. Nice and quick on the riverbank. I know it's been used, not necessarily that I can't use it again, but it also protects it. You know, I'm not just chucking it in somewhere and it's going in with scissors or sharp things. So I know they're protected in here. So that's why I use these. The problem I was having with the dark matter was it was tangling up in here because it's so supple, and it was taking me like 5 minutes to untangle it when I got fishing. And to be honest, when you go fishing for 2 hours, 5 minutes is quite a big chunk. I don't want to be messing about with hook links, which is why I was looking for some coated braid. So as I said in the last video, what I've found looking at various places, various manufacturers, is I dropped on this sink skin by Gardner. And as you saw in the last video, 2 casts, and you know, and had a PB. Now I'm not saying that this stuff caught me a PB, but what I'm saying is it worked really well, it didn't tangle up, and it obviously landed me the fish. So I chucked them all in my box, got home, next day we sorted my stuff out, undid them, lovely, no tangles because obviously it's a bit stiffer, but you can strip it off and make yourself a nice supple section next to the hook, which is what I'd done. So as I said, I'm going to tie a few hook links up now, so I'll just show you exactly what I do. So it's not rocket science. I'm sure there's 100 million videos out there showing you this, but this is the way I'll do it. and just sort of for completeness of my fishing, and to tie in with the last video, I'll show you how I tie things up. So what do I use to tie up my hook links? First off, sink skin. This is the camo green. I've got the green and the brown. I don't think it makes a lot of difference to my fishing, as I get a lot of fish in the dark, or most of my fish, certainly when it's getting dark. So I don't think it makes a lot of difference colour, to be honest with you. So we use about 3 foot of that. I use quarter curve shank hooks pretty much exclusively for all my fishing. Got 8s and 6s here. I think the difference between these ones in the boxes and the ones in the packets, the only difference to me seems to be that these have got some coating on and they're coloured, but again I don't think it makes any difference to me. I've got some 8s tied up already, but so I'm going to tie a 6 up today. It'll be easier to see as well, being a bit bigger. The next thing is the quarter hook beads. These tie up with these Tasker oval bait rings that I've started using. Really good, really quick changing baits. Really like these, and I'll show you in a minute exactly how I'll put those on. Next thing is the Fox Micro Liner. Really like these. Get a fantastic hook hold. I'm not sure if it's because of these, but I can say now, touch wood, apart from the bream earlier in the season, I'm not too fussed about bream falling off. They've got little mouths, haven't they? I don't ever have hook pulls. Don't ever have fish drop off, as I say, apart from the bream earlier in the season. Again, not too fussed. Not particularly bream fishing then. And I think maybe it's due to these things. So I always like to use them. And finally, just some anti-tangle sleeves there. I'm not even sure what make these were. They're in a packet, but I do tend to just buy these just off eBay. You know, as long as I can find these are reasonably short, but not too fussed on this rig, because I'm going to put quite a lot of doubled over section to make a boom anyway. These will just really sit over that quick chain swivel that's on the running ring. So anyway, let's get tying up. So to tie the rig, the strip off here, I reckon probably about 1 metre, something like that. Should give me a hook link between 2.5 and 3 foot long. The first thing I'm going to do is strip off here, probably, I would say, something like a good 3 inches, maybe 4. And all I'm doing is just stripping it off with my fingernails, to be honest. So there we've got, let's just do a little bit more than that. Much easier to strip this stuff off, I've realised, if you do it bit by bit, sort of 1 inch at a time. So there we go, we've got a nice supple section now on the end of here, and then obviously the coated braid's much stiffer there. So next off, I'm going to tie on a size 6. Now, even though I don't need the bait to be dangling off the back of the hook on this, I'm still going to use a knotless knot. Now, I've worked out, after tying a few of these, you need to leave a good sort of 2.5 inches, something like that, of uncoated bit to leave yourself with 1 inch. So knotless knot does take up quite a lot of material off your hook link. What's also worth mentioning is on the back of these, well, on the back, on the eye of the hook is, I'll get that bit out of the way. Obviously the eye of the hook is formed by pulling the wire around. Now what I like to do is, again, a tip I've not worked out for myself, pick up off other people. I think it was Danny Fabras who mentioned this in the video I saw, is when you're doing your knotless knot, you want to not be on the side where where the wire ends. So the wire comes around the hook here and goes like that. So I don't want to be on this bit because there could be a tiny little sharp bit on the bottom of here where that joins in there. So what I'm going to do is go around that way. Well, it's only a small point, but you know, you've got to stack all the odds in your favour, haven't you? So you whip around here 7 times. And then pinch that in there. Now there's a fun bit, try and get 3.5 or 3 foot of this through here nicely. With that very supple section on the end of it, whilst only using one hand. There you go. Right, so that's there, and as you can see we've got about 1 inch supple section there. That's worked out just about nicely. Just nip that tag end off there. So the next thing to do is get our hook beads from here. I do like these and the way they hold this this bait ring on. Right, if you can see these, what I like to do, I know it's the right way to do it, this is the way I do it. They're like a cone shape. So they're not just little tubes, they're cone shaped. So I like to have the 2 fat bits holding these on. So I'm going to make the first one needs to go on, get this right, pointy end first. And this is a little bit fiddly because they're tiny little things. I've squashed that one already. Once you get started, they're usually pretty good. There we go. So we've gone through the middle of that, as you can see there. I'll push that around with thumbnail. I like that one to go about opposite the point of the hook, somewhere around there. Next on is our bait screw. Now I do like these with the extra ring on. I don't want to put this ring here on, I want to put that ring on. They don't all come with those, and these are actually the 18mm ones as well, which does enable me to fish with my boilies on there. My boilie cut in half, mounted with the curved side together with the paste in the middle. It's long enough to be able to do that. So what I need to do now, whilst holding on to all of that, is mount the other hook bead on here. I'm going to put this on the fat side first, so the fat side is next to the ring. It's a bit easier going in the fat side. So I like to mount that about there. Give it sort of a good 5mm of movement, that's what I like. And also you've got movement this way, so if I'm using a wafter with some paste on it, you've got stacks of movement there. This can move, it can all move around. Because obviously we're fishing in a current, so we want it to be wafting about in the current like a natural offering. So that is how I tie that end. So next we want our micro liner here. Grab one of these. These are not the big ones, they're the micros, obviously, as the name suggests. You can get longer ones than these, but I only use the small ones. So we just feed that on that end first, all the way up. Now this can be a bit of a fiddle as well, getting these to sit on this eye. A bit of force. You've got to be a bit careful, because if you slip you end up with a size 6 hook in your finger. There you go, that's gone on fairly nicely now. You like to pull them quite a long way up as well. So there we have it. Let's put that in my hand, let's see what's happening. So there is the business end of my barbel rig. Plenty of movement on that supple bit there. as you can see. Yeah, that'd be a bit better, wouldn't it? Plenty of movement there on that. Movement there and around. And of course all the way up here you've got a nice stiff section which is going to stop your tangles, and which you can also sit stuff in my little pot. You won't get tangled up. So the other end, what I'm going to do first is stick on my anti-tangle tube like that. Shove that down there out of the way. I'm going to form a loop in here that goes onto my swivel. This is going to be, I reckon, maybe a good 6 inches long, something like that, just to make that nice boom effect. So figure of 8 loop knot is what I like to use here. So what I'm going to do is do that. So just got these two at the end and the line in that hand. Form a loop there. I'm going to twist it once, push this through. A bit of luck, excuse me while I wet it. You'll see why it's called a figure of 8 knot. It is because it looks like a number 8. Well, sort of. Like that. Now if you just pull this now, it's going to tighten up and I'm going to lose quite a lot of this loop. So what I need to do is just sort of fidgery it down here. Good word, fidgery. I'm going to fiddle away and just sort of work it down this way so I lose a bit less of my loop. That's the idea. There you go, that's a bit better. Right, so now I'm going to pull that tight. There we go. Cut the tag end off. And that's it, guys. All there is to it. Now what I shall do is, I shan't do it now, but that anti-tangle sleeve is on there. It will pull across that knot up here. So when I put this end through the swivel, anti-tangle sleeve will pull on. I say I won't pull it up there now because it'll fall off. I'm going to leave it down there so it won't fall off. I'm going to stick this on my winders and hopefully use that tomorrow evening. As you can see, this will look, for when I'm on the bank packing up in the dark, this stuff is fantastic for just rolling up in your fingers like that. Getting a hook in your finger as well. You can roll that up like that, drop it in the pot. Where's your pot gone? So I'm on it when I'm on the bank, a bit grubby, but I can drop that in there, you see, like that. Seal it up, ready to go again. And I know that's used, but I know it's a good one. So guys, I hope that clarifies anything that maybe people wanted to know about my Hooklinks. As I say, that's the way I'm doing it at the moment. Things do change with me, as you'll notice if you see my previous videos. I do chop and change stuff, but it's always just in a quest to try and make things that little bit better, really. So we'll give these a go again tomorrow night, but I've been fishing this way in everything apart from the Hooklink material for a while now, all summer, and it's been doing me good. So that Hooklink material has proved itself really to me as well. I mean, 2 casts, 1 fish. As I said, I'm not saying that Hooklink material caught me that fish by any means, but what I am saying is it did its job. So that's all it can do, really. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully we'll be out on the bank tomorrow evening, and we'll catch some. I'll be able to post it in the week. But until I see you next, enjoy your own angling. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you soon.